Hey there guys, how's it going? My name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy and I'm a flow state coach. That means I help you feel better and perform better. Is that the moon over there, guys? Dang, that's wonderful. Got that moon energy. Alright, okay. So I want to give you a foolproof flow state formula in this video. So basically, first of all, I want to introduce to you a basic formula, then a kind of integrative formula, and then I want to give you the formula that I use in my own program, Flow Zone Academy, alright? If we try and understand flow state, we're going to have to understand it from a couple of different perspectives, okay? The first perspective is spiritual development. Spiritual development and spirituality is all about understanding how does flow link to different spiritual states, right? And what philosophies go with it. It's very soul-based, if you think about it, right? In terms of the philosophy, you're reminded of Taoism and also some of Stoicism, I would say, as well as some Hindu philosophy. Now, there are other aspects of flow state, but this is primarily, I would say Taoism is probably the topmost religion that speaks about the flow state in terms of Wu-Wei. Then we go into performance. Now performance, leadership, all this kind of stuff, it's an industry, right? A lot of sports focuses on performance and performing athletes, but also performing in terms of a person's career, right? Being able to perform and actually make money and do things. Now a lot of that scientific aspect of performance has been seen in books by Steven Kotler, like Stealing Fire. There's also Mapping Cloud 9, as well as Rise of Superman. A lot of different range of books that you can get in terms of learning about the performance. Mainly, I would say looking into the Flow Genome Project and seeing what they're doing can really help you understand the neurochemistry, the neurobiology, all this kind of stuff in regards to the flow state. So first of all, we had soul, then we have the body, or the performance, right? And how that relates to the science. Now the third aspect would be psychology, all right? Positive psychology. And the psychology aspect starts to focus on happiness. What makes somebody happy, right? What makes life more meaningful? You know, if you've ever read Viktor Frankl, right? Man's Search for Meaning, if you've ever gone through any of Maslow's stuff, if you are familiar with Csikszentmihalyi's work in terms of flow itself, right? All of this stuff is leading us towards happiness. So, first of all, we have spiritual development. Then we have the science, performance-based science. And third of all, we have happiness or the psychology. So then we have the mind. So we have the soul, we have the body, and then we have the mind. So once all of these three things work together, you find that sweet spot. There are a bunch of questions you can ask yourself in terms of getting really clear on your sweet spot. The first question is, what are my skills and my talents? What am I actually good at? What am I skilled at? What am I talented in? Those are your abilities. Then we have the self-belief aspect. Do I actually believe that I deserve to succeed? Am I confident enough to succeed? Number 3 is clarity. Do I know what I want? A lot of people simply don't know what they want. And so they're going around in circles. Once you really know what you want, what you really, really want, then you can go towards it. Then we have the aspect of courage. Am I willing to take a risk? After courage, we have desire. How badly enough are we willing to give the effort required to get that thing? Lastly, we have empathy. Do my relationships with others help me to succeed? All right. So once you go through all of these questions and asking yourself, then you can get towards your sweet spot. Then you have that ability. You have that self-belief. You have that clarity. You have that courage. You have that desire, and you have that empathy. And then you find that sweet spot. First of all, we have capability. Then we have a mental emotional state. And on top, we have the environment. Now, the environment must be rich and stimulating. It must demand something out of you. So it helps you to actually maintain things. So when we have environment and capability, that means that we have freedom from distraction. All right, so what we want to get to is flow state, or that maximize focus. When you have capability and when you have an emotional state, then you have confidence. Then you have confidence, okay? Now, when you have a mental emotional state and you have the environment that demands of you, then you have challenge. So what are the 3 things I mentioned? Freedom from distraction, confidence, and challenge. And once you can put all of these 3 together, then you have flow. Now, I can get super complex with all different types of models and confuse you, but I want to give you the simple models that are out there first and foremost. Now, my model primarily is split into three parts: mind, body, and spirit. So mind. Mind is all about unlearning. Okay, I call this state reprogramming. It's about unlearning, it's about clarity, and it's about foundation, right? Creating a solid foundation. So how do we do that? We focus on your vision. What is your goals, your clear vision? Then we focus on the venom. Venom, if you're familiar with the movie, it's like your dark side. That's the shadow work that we have to do, going into the limiting beliefs and self-belief work. Thirdly, we go into your values, okay? In any kind of, if you're making lots of money, or if you want to attract a dream partner, all that stuff, right, starts with your values. Otherwise, your character is going to be topsy-turvy. It's going to be a flimsy character. But if you have a solid foundation of values, what you stand for and what you don't stand for, then you're going to actually start to magnetize the life that you truly want. So that's the first phase of doing the mentality and the mindset work, right? I call it reprogramming. The second phase we call rituals, all right? This is about habits, all right? What habits do you have daily? This is about venting or catharsis, or your voice and your vibe. So this is about catharsis, expression, and energy. All right, that's what we're going to work on, because as we're doing different bodily exercises, I use bioenergetics, whatever the person really needs. You know what I mean? Like, if they don't want to do bioenergetics, I'm not going to force them. At the same time, I give people bioenergetics tools, qigong tools, yoga tools, primarily calisthenics tools, different things that you can use to actually foundationally create this body that matches the mind that you have. You might have a really sharp mind, but you don't have a really sharp body. So then your body and your mind aren't really working together to create that flow, right? So really ask yourself, like, if you have a sharp mind, why not have a sharp body as well? You know, it's like, it's best of both worlds. And, you know, once you have that vibe, that vibration, once you get yourself in that high level of frequency, you can just keep creating, and like, people will resonate with that, you know, magnetize with that. Now, thirdly, we have spirit, or I call this process rendering. Okay. Earlier we had the body, we had the mind, the body. Now we have the spirit. Rendering. Now Grotowski, I got this from Grotowski. Okay. So he worked with this American theater guy called Slowiak, and we've got to render the process like clarified butter. And what he meant by that is we've got to get to the origin point, or we've got to get to the basic property of the thing and integrate everything, bring everything together. Right? So this is a process of integration. We've worked on the body, we've worked on the mind, but what about the spirit? So this is all about exposure, this is all about trust, and it's all about integration. So here we're working on our validity, our visibility, and finally our victory. And victory is when we've gone through the whole process, right? It's like we've gone on the hero's journey and come back with the elixir of life, which is the ability to have flow state be a vehicle to get you to where you want to go. Now you have all these rituals to get into flow. You can get into flow on command if you want to. You know, all these mindset tools and tweaks that you can do to get yourself to change your state up. But also, now you're able to use those tools and actually build a lifestyle with it. You know, you're actually that person now. You aren't just like using the tools, it's about the beingness. So the beingness overrides all of those things. And so that's where the spirit comes in. It's like it actually starts to change your personality and your character. And you start being a different kind of person once you find out what you're truly good at, right? What you're talented in, what you're naturally very profoundly good at. You can actually be able to leverage that and be able to optimize that in your life, all right? So these are the three models, or the flow state formulas. We can also look at it in terms of the flow cycle, and there's many other, you know, diagrams and things that I can get into. There's like an encyclopedia of information in my academy, you know, to find out more about this. But if you are interested in signing up for the academy, you know, we are taking on a few new recruits. So if you are interested, you know, shoot me a message on Instagram and let's set up a time for a connection call and let's just talk about it. Let's see what you need right now. And if this is right for you, if this resonates, it's all good. If not, that's cool too. But just throwing it out there, all right, guys? So I hope you have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legendary.